Hi, a very good afternoon to everyone who's joined the session. I am Shibani Roy. I run the webinar program at LeadSquared, and you have joined the LeadSquared webinar. LeadSquared is a sales execution and marketing automation platform. You will, of course, come to know more about LeadSquared as we go through the session. Yes, it's BFSI week. That means we have catered exclusively to the BFSI sector this week. We've had a series of webinars. On Tuesday, we had a webinar on banking transformation in banking rather. On Wednesday, we had a webinar on lending, and today we're having a session on insurance. So it's about transforming the entire lead lifecycle journey digitally. Some of the things that we will cover today are, of course, capturing leads from all channels, digital, FOS, banker relations, referrals, tracking communication across teams, of course, driving a paperless and contactless sales cycle, prioritizing leads, auto distributing them to the right teams, automating repetitive tasks, and of course, upsell and cross sell. Now, the person to take us through this session is someone who took a session for us a couple of weeks ago. That was Suhas Shenoy. He took a session on the LeadSquared features that can help you work from home. If you haven't got a recording to that webinar, do write to me and I'll share that across. That's an extremely useful session at this time. So Suhas, he is the Senior Director, Professional Services at LeadSquared, and he's extensively worked across the industries. He's the main person to go to for any business use case in LeadSquared, I would say. So Suhas, please do share a few lines about yourself, although I know most people here would know you if they've been joining our sessions. And of course, take the session forward.
Thank you, Shibani. Good afternoon to everyone. So I'm Suhas, currently Senior Director Professional Services. What me and my team does is we understand the requirements from all the customers and help solve their business problems using LeadSquared as a platform. So I have around 15 years of experience, and throughout my career, I've been working in CRM and helping all the customers to implement successfully and make the best use of CRM. Okay, so today we are going to talk about insurance as a insurance sales as a topic, and I'm sure people who are attending, they would know much about the domain, what insurance is all about. Mainly, I'm going to focus on things how LeadSquared as a platform helps you, and also how it has helped loads of customers to increase their sales, right, and increase their numbers. So it has been a really fruitful implementations for us. One of the key strengths of LeadSquared of providing solutions to the insurance providers. We have good names in our kitty who are already using the system. So today's agenda will be like this. So first, a general introduction to insurance domain. What kind of insurance domains do we handle and what solutions we have provided. Right? And then we'll quickly go through how the customer acquisition process is taken care, and then how agents work on LeadSquared, that's the agent processes, and then also we'll discuss some of the few use cases which have come up during most of my sessions, and I would reiterate how did we solve that, right? How did LeadSquared actually help the business to overcome those use cases? Coming up to the insurance part, currently there are like many types of insurance, so general insurance and life. If you actually see the insurance is mainly divided into two parts, right? Life and non-life insurance. Non-life is called as general insurance, which is again further divided into motor, home, travel, fire, mediclaim, and etc. Right? And then it comes to life insurance. And then there's a channel sales. So channel sales is basically you have partners to sell the insurance. So bank insurance and non-banker channels are something which we have successfully implemented. So I'll take you through the use cases slowly when I go through the slides. So coming to the first part of customer acquisition. Okay? So what are the key features for customer acquisitions? Important thing in insurance is you have to decide how your sales approaches. If your sales is online sales or offline sales, right? Based on that, it takes a lot of configuration to make sure that your process is well aligned to the strategy which you are deployed for your sales. So for an online sales, which is very important to track your leads on your website, website journey of the lead is very important. It's an key feature, right? So you need to understand how your customers come to the website and how easy it is for them to traverse through the different steps, right? And land to the buying or buying page or the payment page, which is very important. Second thing is you should have presence in social channel also. I mean, you should have digital presence as much as possible. So you should be able to capture the leads from your social channels, right? So your Facebook, Google ad networks, right? And all your PPC ads and etc. So you should have a good presence there. Third one is importing external leads. Few organizations take in strategy to buy the leads from an external vendor, or they get it from bulk from their partners, right? So that's the way the tool will provide them an import facility where all the databases can come into the system, and then you can strategize how to contact these customers and convert them. And also give direct access to your affiliates and partners to submit more leads. These are the way a customer can be acquired, especially specifically in insurance. We have seen these trends from our customers, right? And there are many other methods to get in. So you can go into the ads, TV ads, radio ads, right? But important thing is source from which the lead is captured, right? And then the conversion. So when you take a report at the end, you should be able to tell that source A is capable of converting 10%, right? What's the conversion percentage of source A or source B or source C? That's how you can invest more on right source which you're getting leads. That's one of the key for marketing folks who are there today in this session. So capturing inquiry from different forms, as I said, social media, Facebook provides you a ad Facebook ad connectors, right? So LeadSquared easily connects to the Facebook ad connectors and captures. It has a Google AdWords also, so all your pay-per-click ads and etc. Where it will be LeadSquared will be directly connecting to them and capturing the lead source, right? We also do have Facebook retargeting and Google AdWords retargeting tool, right, where you can retarget the customers who are missed out. Again, you can have your landing pages on the website. LeadSquared provides you easily designable landing pages, which you can design as per your workflow and then just place it on your websites. And then you have email inquiries, phone inquiries. Yes. And then the purchase list dealers, brokers, and channel partners who will provide you leads from various. The key for a CRM is to have capability to capture the leads from every possible source, and that's where LeadSquared has been very successful. And one of our key features, right? One of the key strengths of the product, that 0% lead leakage, because we are able to capture lead from every possible source. I think that is very important for an organization plus a marketing team, wherein they can all create multiple sources through which lead can come into the system, and then it follows a common process for a salesperson, right, to convert them. So with that, let's do the next slides of online journey. A typically online journey of a lead in a insurance scenario, the like lead comes and visits the home page, and then let's take a motor insurance example where he clicks on buy a new car insurance, right? Till now he's like an unknown visitor, so we don't know who's the person. He has just come to the website. It's just an incoming traffic for us. Then he goes ahead and provides the registration details. At this point of time, we would know who is the person since he has provided the registration details and what is he looking for. What's the type of the car he's looking for, which is supposed to get insurance. Then he confirms the details. He moves to the premium page. He will generate a quote for his particular car. He will check all the rates, right? Now imagine he drops at any one of these points after this, right? A customer who showed interest by coming to your website, provided the details, and then moves to the premium page, and then he drops out from the page. From a LeadSquared perspective, this is an important use case, right? Wherein the call center will immediate pitch in, or a system will immediate pitch in to check why the customer has dropped. This is a very important step to be configured, right? And it actually helps in converting sales. There are multiple reasons that your customer might drop out from your website. One is not able to understand, he's not able to traverse through, or he's looking for easier payment options, right? He doesn't want to go through multiple steps. It is key for you to understand why the person is dropping from your website. And if you are capable of immediately calling him and understanding why did he drop off and give feedback to your website guys or marketing guys, that will really help improve the experience of the customer. Plus, it will help you generate more conversions. Then he would go and continue to pay, and then the stage turns as a customer, right? And then it is sent to the verification team to verify that everything is happened properly, the insurance has been generated and customer has received it, and everything is recorded in your core insurance system. Now imagine this journey. So anywhere any person gets dropped out, right, it is very important for a system to immediately notify to the key salespersons on the telephone or key salesperson who wants to send an email, an SMS, right, and check why the customer has dropped and understand his pain points and try to convert him. That's very important. Not only this, you can also prioritize your leads based on this particular workflow. So imagine you have an inflow of like 1,000 leads almost in an hour. In that 1,000 leads, imagine around 500 leads dropped off in a registration details page, and around 300 dropped out after generating quote, and 200 dropped out after coming to the payment page. From an organizational point of view, if I am running a call center of 5 to 6 members to handle this load, it is very important for me to strategize and call those customers who are closer to conversion. So my calling cost really should prove, or calling cost really should help me get more converted customers, which means from a system point of view, first you need to call the 200 customers who are there in the payment page. Then you can target the customers who are there in the quote page, and then finally you can target the customer who are just on the registration page. So from a LeadSquared point of view, when we design this particular journey and we integrate with the LeadSquared system, what we provide is a lead quality score and provide a lead generic score based on the activities the leads have done on the website, right? And the combination of all these scores will prioritize the calling of the lead, right? And which helps you to call the customer who is closer to conversion. Call the customer first who are closer to conversion. Similarly, I'll try to give an example of another workflow wherein a customer visits the home page, picks a product like equity or equity fund, etc., then clicks to invest with us, where he signs up for a portal, and then he goes ahead and then gives his PAN number, right? Then you have an internal integration with the system which immediately checks for his PAN number and verifies whether he qualifies or not, right? And then lead is created in the system. He signs in the new transaction, selects the product, and finishes the lead and buys the product. Now, this is another workflow. Just to give you an example, it's not close to the insurance industry, but just to give an example that how a lead journey would be there in website and how closely you can map it with LeadSquared. I just portrayed this. In this journey also, it is very important for you to know at which stage the customer has dropped out. And also, you can automate few things like document collection or the validation process. In this process, specifically, I'm showing an gateway which will integrate with the Sybil and tell you whether the customer is valid or not, right? I mean, just can check where PAN number is valid or not, or the PAN number, it is qualified to buy the product or not. So this will decrease your effort, human effort of checking later whether the customer is qualified or not. However, system itself will take care of the validation. That's point one. And also, similar to the previous use case, it's important to know if the customer drops out at any stage, and your call center guys can immediately call them. Yeah. Moving on to the next slide. Insurance business, whenever I talk to customers, they always say that whoever first reaches the customer, the conversion percentage is higher, right? So if you delay, when a customer comes and register in your website, and if I delay by 15 to 20 minutes to call back to the customer, and in the meantime, imagine another competitor calls the customer, then the chances of conversions are very low. Whoever first reaches out to the customer, chances of conversion are very high. Right? So keeping that in mind, right? LeadSquared tightly integrates with your call center system to initiate an automated dialing. So we have helped so many customers, right? Whenever a person comes and registers in the website, immediately we can trigger a call, which is very important in life insurance scenario, right? Because life insurance is not very motivating uh, part for a buyer. So not every day we get up and think we should buy a life insurance. That's something which is always taken as a last priority. So in such cases, calling becomes an important aspect of sales, and they don't really wait till the customer completes the journey. You would want immediately to contact the customer and try to get as much as information from the customer to help get his best premium and best possible offers and try to convert them. So in this screen, what we are trying to say is whenever a customer comes, hits the website, you can directly route to the call center and initiate a call. Now, another important thing is whenever we capture the lead details, the quality of the lead is important. So basically, imagine again giving an example of a life insurance. What's important in life insurance? Have a good quality of a lead. So maybe some parameters like weight is one parameter, gender is one parameter, smoking status is one of the parameters, family medical history, his location, his marital status, right, his profession. These can be your important parameters to define the quality of your lead. And imagine you have weighted all this based on your if the weight is weight or BMI. I don't know what the best information you can get in life insurance, right? So usually weight, gender is something people share it. So if weight is less than or equal to or between the range, right? And if gender is male, and then if smoking status is yes or no, putting all these conditions and keeping a score, right? You would have typically rate a customer out of 10. So let's imagine first the customer gave the name and contact details, right? Now you can give it a score like maybe 20% is the score. And then he provides the city, which gives you again an important information where the customer is accessible and whether you can serve the customer in that location, increases by another 20%, right? And then he provides what is the product interested. Now the quality of the lead is more because you know lead is there, he has given the details, plus he has also shown what product he is interested in. And then again, he has generated the quote, which means again, quality of the lead is higher. And then he has hit the payment page. Then now it's a full quality, 10 out of 10 for this lead. So imagine a lead type of lead in your business scenario for typical motor insurance or a health insurance or a fire insurance, etc. Pick 3 or 4 fields which are key required to proceed further for your next process, right? And distribute the score accordingly. And based on the quality score, you can first contact the customer who is having high quality. Right? That's the concept of the quality score, and how it will show in LeadSquared. It is always out of 10 because it's given in percentages and translated score which is out of 10. You can prioritize instantly based on the prospect details. Again, I give this example for most of the motor insurance guys, right? So depending upon the product or depending on type of the car they have come in to insure to, right? You can always have a lead type, and then you can define your processes accordingly. For example, a car is Volvo, then you can say grade A, Volvo or a Mercedes or a Audi, right? You can term it as grade A leads, and you can have a specialized team to handle and a specialized process to handle the particular segment of the customers who are coming in. Similarly, a car is Ford plus petrol plus add-on, right? People have selected that on the website, and you can grade leads as B. Right? Similarly, a car is Skoda petrol plus add-on grade C. And this is just an example, this is a metaphor we're trying to give here. Similarly, I can have multiple categorizations of the leads based on the particular business which I'm handling, right? And I can define the processes through which. The key important factor in any CRM is one, capturing the leads, two, understanding the leads which are captured, right? The quality of the lead which we have captured and the stage in which lead is with respect to his website journey or with respect to his interest of buying, right? That is very important. And the third important factor is distribute amongst the team, distribute the lead to the right person. These are the key things for any CRM. It doesn't matter that if I have a best quality lead, but it is attended by one of my low performing member, then obviously it's a loss for an organization, right? So best quality lead should go to my best team, best member of the team, so that he always converts it and the conversion ratio is always 100%. That's a concept to improve the conversion plus maintain the performance of your employee.
Suhas, I
So
will just interrupt here because we have some questions related to what you were saying. So,
yes,
Love Kurana was saying the parameters for quality score are customizable per the product.
yes. So LeadSquared is a blank platform when we actually give it to you, right? Specifically, quality scores are three types of scores in the system. One, we call it as a quality score, which is based on the demographic attributes of a lead, like name, age, email, and etc. You can pick up your fields based on the business and then define the quality score. The second type of score is engagement score, right? It depends upon a particular type of actions which you take on leads which are related to engagement. For example, a call happened is an engagement, an email went is an engagement, a SMS sent is an engagement. So basically, it will give you an idea how well engaged are your captured leads, right? And the third type of score is a lead score, which is a combination or the cumulative score of based on the activities that are happened on the lead and the activities that lead has performed, right? For example, a lead coming into your website second time, I can increase the score by 10, which means he's interested. Email which you sent and lead opens that email, again I will increase the score by 10, which means lead is interested. And another activity that has happened within the sales where you say lead is interested, right? And he has asked for a quote personally, then I increase by another 10. So lead score also defines uh, that how close that lead is to the conversion.
Okay, then Shivesh is asking you what is the difference between lead score and lead rank?
So there are things, right? Specifically prioritization of the lead, and then you have a lead score. So as I said, lead score is a cumulative scores based on the different activities that are happened. It can be positive or negative. And the negative example, if somebody unsubscribes your email, is not interested, so you can straight away have minus 30, right? So the cumulative of those things are a score. However, prioritization is called as ranking. Ranking is based on how close the lead is for your conversion and how better the organization is to create an influence on the buying decision of a customer, right? So the example which I gave earlier, wherein you have 100 leads who are in the payment page and 100 leads who are in the quote generation page. So from the ranking perspective, 100 leads who are on the payment page are ranked high.
Okay, okay. And there are a couple more questions who asked, do you want to take them now or later? They are not really about prioritization though.
Yeah, I will take you through prioritization and stuff again. So I have a particular slide where I explain it by automations. So we'll take
Oh,
it later.
sure, sure.
So I'm going through an agent process. A very generic process has been shown here, wherein you have leads from multiple sources like website, Facebook, and your social campaigns or any campaigns which you run, right? And then all the leads comes and sits into the particular funnel where a duplicate check happens if lead is already existing or not. If exists, then you override, or I mean, again, depending upon the business decision, right? Otherwise, you create the new lead in the lead squad, and then the lead distribution happens. The key step, another step is lead distribution. Distributing it accordingly. It can be based on location, it can be based on performance, it can be based on product, and then you set up a calling process. And calling process generically have, if interested, then yes, assign the sales. If not interested, if market is not interested, and move to the next steps. And if they request for a callback, again request for a callback. It's a generic process which is shown. It's calling process. From a LeadSquared point of view, the integration of the call center system, right? We can drive the several logics which are automated and very important for any insurance company. One is fresh lead calling. Fresh lead calling is immediately call the leads when they register. Now, this might work for a few organizations. This might not work for a few organizations. The organization which is looking to have more straight through portal conversions, more online conversions without the call center's help, then I would not prefer the organizer to have a fresh lead calling as a scenario, right? They need to wait till the lead is dropped out from his website journey and then initiate the call, right? Otherwise, you just want to talk to the customer. You want to be the first person to reach out to the customer, and then you have full force call center helping you conversions. Then fresh lead calling is one of the important features. Then immediately when a lead is created, a call is generated, and then it is connected to your calling agents, and he calls the customers. The customer also get an immediate experience that the moment he is registered, he gets a call from the company, and he knows this company is good. It is technically good, and he's willing to talk to them, and the buying decision is fresh in the customer's mind. Second is callback. So callback is again an important automation or important calling technique, right? Depending upon the customer's time and favorable time, you need to call back. So customer says, please call me only during 2 to 3, right? There are few customers who prefer the time to be called, and there are customers who say, call me after 3 days, call me after 6 days, and etc. So it is very important for your system to capture all these dates and all these preferred times and etc., and then prompt you or automatically dial during that time, so that it goes back and it does the calling. And then the not contactable lead. So when you tried, but the customer is not picking up the call, so those are all not contactable lead. Then you should define an automated calling process. So typically IVR is one of the good examples, right? Wherein you pick up an IVR system and then you do automated calling in terms of when the customer picks up the call and he selects IVR options, and then the call redirects to you. Or else you can have a common logic of you try for 8 times in a month, or maybe after 3 months again you try and then declare it as a dead lead or a dormant lead. Typically in calling scenarios, again, there are two types. One is sticky agent and another is non-sticky agent. Sticky agent scenario is whenever you want longer relationships with your customer agent. Specifically in life insurance processes, I would prefer sticky agent because few of the confidential informations are shared and people prefer to talk to the same person. In that case, sticky needs to be enabled. So when a person talks to one agent, once again, when he calls after 3 days, the same agent talks to him and he knows the history well and he continues the conversation from there. However, insurances like motor insurance or any kind of commodity insurance, right? It doesn't really matter who is talking. All they require is a quote and continue the process. In that, non-sticky process is very effective because you would have loads of leads that are coming into the system and you cannot really depending upon the same agent to take the call. That case, non-sticky method works. Moving on to the next, I'll just giving you an example of an automation, how easy it is to define in LeadSquared. So we just say when a new lead is created, we check if the source is X or Y. So if you don't put that card also, it will work. But I'm just put an example. so that I can give you an idea of, you can put in condition. Specifically, conditions are required when for calling campaign to check if the mobile is captured or not, or the phone is captured or not. And then you have something called send to the campaign. Here we are showing a ozone tail campaign. So we have multiple connectors with the call center. You can tell us what call centers do you use, which CTI, which telephony interface you use, and we will be able to connect them, right? Whenever a new lead is created, if the source, then directly call to the campaign. Send to the campaign is something. If not, then still I'm sending to a campaign. So basically, a campaigns, calling campaigns are something defined in your CTIs. Those also define who takes this call, which are the agent who belongs to the particular campaign, right? Similarly, we can have workflows here and push to the campaign, and agents who belongs to that campaign, they can directly start taking the calls. Example of a not contactable attempts, right? So first, when you call, you put an activity, or you just say it is not reachable, not contactable, and system can wait for 1 hour and then once again update and then push to the calling. And after 1 hour, try one more. If it's still not contactable, wait for another 1 hour and send. You can imagine your workflow, right? And also improve the performance of the team. Maybe you can have a specific team, a smaller team, 1 or 2 members team, to attend your not contactable calls, so that you know that a system automatically takes care. And also in your CTI, there is an option connect to your agent only when customer picks up the call. So you can configure your not contactable campaigns specifically on that mode with your CTI, so that your time of the agent is not wasted. The lead is pushed to your CTI. CTI calls the customer, and only if customer is picking up the call, then connects to the agent and agent start talking to the customer. Else, it just sends a signal back to the LeadSquared. It is not contactable, and LeadSquared tries to call it again after 1 hour or 2 hours based on the automations which we have configured. So what's in there for a call center executive? So I'm taking this example because most of the insurance companies, the sales will happen via telephone. So it's very rare that you have a field sales to go and sell a motor insurance or a health insurance, right? It's typically call center who drives the sales for insurance. What's in there? So you can manage your calling funnel with smart views in LeadSquared, right? You get the pop-ups, right, which is for progressive dialing, and you can see the entire lead history. So when I receive a pop-up, I see the name of the lead. I know this lead is a not contactable lead, which is come now, or this lead is a fresh lead, or also I know this lead is interested in so and so product. He has come to my website 10 times. He has clicked on this particular product, so his score is this much. So I get a 360-degree view, and instead of talking blank to the customer, saying that how can I help you, you can directly talk to the customer. I know you're interested in product A. How can I help you to buy this particular product? And I can explain you the features of the product. Plus, internally, if the team is been split on product specialization, LeadSquared can automatically distribute that lead to the guy who is specialist in the product, and he can directly pitch in. Right? This is the key. And then you can dispose the calls directly from the LeadSquared screen. You don't have to juggle around with multiple systems. You can use only LeadSquared as a system, wherein you see the leads also, you see the pop-up, and you can do your dispositions directly from the lead. And based on disposition, system automatically takes care of the next processes also with a well-defined automation. And then manual dialing, yes, definitely you can do manual dialing. An example screenshot of how does it look, right? So you have a screen where you can see the numbers, you can open the lead, and then still you can see his email, number, address, and stuff like that. And on the right hand side, you can see there is a history, the SMS is sent, there is an automation, there's an appointment, and etc. You can click on any of the number which is there. If a call would be immediately generated and a pop-up would come. This pop-up would come both the times. Even when the automated dialing happens, the pop-up would come. And even when you do a manual calling, the pop-up would come. So here is the activity tab. Click on that and you can do your dispositions. If you want to see more details on the leads, you can always click on more details and see more details about the lead. So this screen gives you an example of how does it look when you enter a new lead, right? When a new lead comes into the system, the forms which are designed to capture new leads, the opportunity, right? So you have like policy details, policy issue number, and etc. Now this depends upon the type of the product. The LeadSquared also provides a module called a forms builder, using which you can define your forms accordingly. So if you're handling multiple products like motor and health and travel and fire and etc., you can define the forms accordingly, and then accordingly the same form can be popped out or same form can be opened by your team, respective team which are handling the product. Another example of upload documents, basically whatever documents, again, to increase the sales, to increase the experience, or to improve the experience of your customer, there are multiple ways, right? So if there is a document upload process, again, you can expose a web form to your customer to upload the documents and see it here, or you can also set up a screen which is required by your agent, where your agent can request for particular document from the customer on the calls, and once he received it, he can actually upload it accordingly. This is one of the page where you have multiple opportunities, where same person is coming again and again, asking for multiple. So a person is owning more than one car, or he's having more than one health insurance, right? More than one fire insurance, and etc. So the screen where the opportunity, it is captured as opportunities, and the status are tracked based on the opportunity status. Moving on to the next process for renewals. So renewals is the same process, similar process, but important thing is how well automated is your renewal process, right? So we can do multiple automations around renewal process. Typically, we suggest customers to initiate the emails just 3 months before the renewal date. So renewal date is a key field attribute that needs to be filled in the system, based on which the whole automation engine will run. So 3 months before the renewal, you can do a first contact to your customer and tell them that it's a good experience having them as a customer, right? And also reminding them that next 3 months the renewal coming in. If they do an early renewal, what is the offers? So it's a better way to communicate to them, and also remind them that the renewal period is nearing. And then again, you can have a second reminder 1 month earlier that, and then 1 week before and on the day of renewal, right? So again, a call center process can be stitched in easily in the renewal process, wherein you would want to know when your call center should make a first call to your customer, right? Maybe 10 days before or a month before, just to talk to customer and tell him that renewal date and understand whether the renewal is going to happen or not. And if renewed, I mean, you can have integration with your core systems behind, and if renewed, don't disturb the customer, it is renewed, right? They can again check his interest next year. If not renewed, then again have agents to have a particular process to follow up with them. So in premium reminder automations, similar process wherein somebody purchased the health insurance, then you can wait till the premium reminder date, and then send the automation, send them emails, SMS, call them, notify them, and check whether it is updated or not. Also, and Crosssell Upsell is a very good platform. LeadSquared is a very good platform to help you in cross-sell upsell in cases where you have much more enriched information of the customer. You can define your automations, and also you can send them good alerts and product purchase, new product launches and new product details to your customers, and also try to see if he's interested in other products. Cool. Shivani, do we have any questions at this point of time with respect to some of the agent processes?
I'm not entirely sure about agent processes, but yes, we do have quite a few questions here, as I can see. So maybe I'm just going to take them up anyway. So this was upon lead capture, and the question was on what about chatbots? I think he was talking about, capturing bots.
Correct. So basically, we integrate with them. LeadSquared as a platform provides API, right? that leads can be captured within the system through any source. So we natively integrate with multiple chat systems. But however, from a chatbot point of view, the chatbots are individual systems which will immediately start the chatting and push the details back to the customers and try to convert on its own, right? In case it is not converted, or in case you need to capture all the chat transcripts and plus the history of the lead and the details of the lead, will provide you APIs using which you can integrate with your chat systems, and then the data comes in. Once the data comes in, again you can define the processes. If it is already converted, you don't have to do anything. But if it is not converted, it is dropped in between, right? Customer has not bought the product. Then if you want to take it through other processes of emails or a call center and etc., you can decide it based on the data which you are capturing from the chat and then sending it to the LeadSquared.
All right. I'm moving to Sandeep's question. He says, will this help the individual agent? Have you integrated with LIC code generator earlier?
So we have not integrated with LIC code generator as specific, but yes, we have integrated with several other code generators of our customers, right? So basically how it works is we provide the set of data and we consume the APIs of the code generator and push it there. It generates back and gives us the information and we display it back for the agent. So basically how it helps is during the calling, I call a customer and then I put some information, enter the details and I get the codes, and then I start sharing the codes with the customers. Either in a click of a button, an email is sent to them, or I start verbally explaining back to the customer. But yes, with APIs available, definitely we will be able to do it.
Okay. Then we have Himanshu's question, who says, any possibility of integrating cloud telephony and recording the conversation here?
Yes, definitely. So we integrate with multiple cloud telephony connectors. So I want to say that that's the only possibility we have. So cloud telephony works really well for us since we are also a cloud platform. So OzoneTel, Nolarity, Ameo, Exotel, right? There's so many other providers. Even we have multiple providers in US also where we integrate with cloud telephony, and all the recordings are available within LeadSquared, and you can listen to the recordings in the LeadSquared.
Okay, and staying with call recording. So, Himanshu's next question is, any mobile application or interface wherein agent can take calls from the mobile itself and fill the disposition in app itself?
Yes. So there are two methods about this. So one is LeadSquared provides its own mobile app, right? And that mobile app is capable of initiating a call and recording the instance of the call. Plus, you can do a disposition. Now, the only catch is sometimes, or most of the times, the Android releases its own security measures, right, due to which the call recording will not happen. Specifically in iPhones, the call recording is completely prohibited, and we are not able to capture. Now, to overcome this, we integrate with cloud telephony, right, in a method wherein instead of initiating a call from your mobile, what happens is when you click on a lead on the mobile, call is initiated via this telephony vendors, right? And then the call happens, and then the recording also is captured well, and it comes back and sits in the system. So in case call recording is a necessary, it's a must, and I suggest you go with the telephony provider and we integrate with telephony provider with our mobile application so your call recordings are captured. In case call recording is not a very important must, then you can use our mobile app. It definitely gives you an activity saying that the call has happened, and it also gives you a duration of the call. The only thing is call recording is not available. But yes, rest of the processes of capturing dispositions and triggering automation, everything happens as is.
Okay, Suhas, let's proceed then.
Okay. Moving on to the next use case, wherein the channel sales comes into the picture with banca and non-banca. I'm sure everybody knows what's a bank assurance and non-bank assurance. Typically, in an organization, which is a large process where you are partnered with banks as the channel partners to sell your insurance. So for example, a company which has a bank as a partner, and imagine a large national bank having like thousands and thousands of branches all over, right? Maybe 20,000, 30,000 branches wherein they sell your insurance on behalf of you. Right? So the whole structure is totally different in this case. We'll specifically have field sales guys who will actually act as a branch manager, right? Who will be assigned 3 or 4 branches to take care. So his day is typically to go to that branches, talk to the bank's branch manager how things are happening, introduce new products, and build a relationship there, and also keep track of how many insurance are sold and how many insurance are up for renewal, how many renewal happened, how many lost, and etc. So if you imagine this process where your field sales agent, they go to a bank and take all the details and come back, the reconciliation is in one of the difficult and jobs if it is done manually. Imagine when you go to the bank, and nationalized bank doesn't have a system, right, which integrates. They will give you a ledger or a notebook, right, where it is all entered, or they show a screen with. Then you take that data in your page, or you type it somewhere in an Excel, and then send it back to the main branch, and they upload the data back to the system. So again, and plus you would also not know that your field sales guys are really going there to the branch and they're maintaining the relationship, they're doing well or not. They can just call the branch manager and say, please send the data. And once the data is sent, they can send it back to you. You really don't know whether they're going or not, but they're just claiming their expenses and etc. Similarly, in non-banker process, where you deal with the dealers, brokers, agents, etc. Again, a relationship needs to be maintained with these particular partners who will bring in leads for you. And same problem wherein you would not know whether they're really calling them, they're meeting them, and or not, right? So LeadSquared mobile app actually acts as a perfect solution for the banker and non-banker channels, right? Typically, a person when logs into the LeadSquared, he sees his smart view there, where he sees my branches, and when he clicks on the branches, he would see all the branches associated to him, right? And then again, when he opens the branches, he would see different actions with respect to specific branch. What he does, either he says the branch visit has been started, right? And then he says renewal leads are there, I need to update, quick update, or there is a new lead which has come in, I have to create a new lead. Depending upon what all actions he can perform at a branch, right? He can give. You can also restrict him that he should open the screen only when he's at a branch. That's one of the features which are already available with LeadSquared. So which means he cannot sit at home and update the branch. He has to go to the branch and update the activity there. Okay. So again, when he clicks on renewal leads, he would see that how many leads are there whose expiry date is today, right? And also he can check tomorrow, yesterday, and all time, and then check with the manager or cross verify with the ledger which manager provides, and put a tick mark against which where the policy has been already renewed, and put a tick mark where policy lost. The moment you put a tick mark, he has to do nothing. The reconciliation happens automatically. The information goes back to his core system via API integration, or his main head office would know that how many insurance have already been renewed, and they can take care of the rest of the process. And to create a new lead, he would click on the create new lead, a screen opens. The screen can be configured, modified based on the needs, based on the business process, right? And also the mobile app gives you an option to find the leads near you, find the branches near you, right? And put a proper map, understand how to go to that place. And also it captures the geolocation. So you would actually know how they have traveled, how they have traversed, and what locations they have checked in. For example of a report, right? So how many branch visits have happened, how many new policies, how many total renewals collected, right? And how many lost and how many are pending. It is just an example of a report. Example of a field sales tracker wherein we see how many people have attended check-in, check-out reports, or which are the locations people have checked in at what time and where. Example of again reports which you can check on a mobile. So you can directly click on your sales group, right, in your team, and then check how many branches are there and what are the tasks which are completed, overdue, and assigned tasks, and go in detail inside the branch, how many members are there, and go inside that report also clicking on a particular member and then see how many tasks he has completed, overdue, and assigned, and etc. This is how a detailed report can be extracted within the mobile. And moving on to the analytics, again, you have a complete analytics in the system. The important analytics which I wanted to show is a complete funnel of how many unique visitors, how many leads, how many they converted directly through portal, right? How many not converted through portal, how many went through a call center scenario, right? And also conversion by lead sources, which is very important. That how many leads are converting via website, organic, social, PPC, SCM, Policy Bazaar, right? Any of the affiliated partners and etc. So that you know that this is basically a conversion report. This is not number of leads. Imagine a source which provides you 1,000 leads, but conversion is 0. So the investment, the return on investment is nil on particular source. But however, a source where it provides 100 leads and the conversion is 30, which means 30% is a great conversion. This is the conversion by lead sources, very important for any organization. And conversion by region. So if you have multiple call centers in Delhi, Bangalore, and etc., that you would also want to know that how many converted region wise. These are all one of the key reports which everybody would look for. Again, a report where you would want to see the call center versus your online conversions if you're looking to improve the online conversions, right? So again, how it is helping, which means that your SEO is working well and your online process is much more helpful for the customer. The experience is better. The customer who comes on the website goes till conversion, right? That gives you an idea that how the conversion happening, and plus how the call center is performing. Shivani, are there any questions which we can take right now, or can I jump into a few key use cases?
Yes, Suhas, let's just quickly go through the use cases and then come back to questions.
Sure. So the use cases I have just categorized into three parts, wherein typical questions asked by customers, right, whenever I meet them, or whenever our sales guys meet them. One of the question is how to increase the digital sales. So whatever we have seen and whatever we have experienced from all our customers is important thing to increase your digital sales is your digital presence. So your online presence needs to be higher. You need to spend something on your online presence. You should have your social ads running, your emails, your SEOs, your blogs, your webinars, your sites, right? Everything needs to be running, and you should have multiple ways through which customer can come to know about yourself, and then move from there to your landing page. So important key thing is whenever you advertise yourself, whenever you show the presence in online, any click on that particular page, right, it should redirect your landing pages, which drives the conversion, which is very important. And landing page which just captures the name, number, and says okay, bye, we'll contact you later, will not help. A landing page that actually drives the conversion should give them a path to continue the journey in the website and go to the payment page where they can buy the product. So how do I do that? Another important step for me as an organization is to improve the stickiness of them. So how can I improve stickiness? We can push them to a mobile app or redirect to a portal, right? Mobile app, I'm talking about the mobile app of the organization. If I'm an insurance company, ABC Insurance, then I should have a AB Insurance app. So wherein a person who comes to my landing page, I push him to register or download an app, right, and I provide specific facilities on the app. One of the key features is, for example, I drive a car, and then whenever a traffic cop asks me for my documents of insurance, I go into the email and search. Instead, if I have the app from my company, I log into the app and I see which are the insurance which are there, download and directly show it to the cop. Plus, the app also helps me to renew the insurance directly from there. App also gives me notifications and reminders. That's how I can build a stickiness with the customer, right? And plus the portal. Portal is also a very good option. Then you can send them via portal. And once I've logged into the portal, I would know how many policies are registered. For example, any life insurance or health insurance, I would know how many policies are registered, what is my wife's policy, my kid's policy, my policy, right? All those are shown in the portal, and I know the days, and plus I can download at any point of time. I see the nominations, I can change the nomination. These are all something which are sticky to a customer. Even a new customer who comes into the picture, he gets an app through which he can refer a new customer and get some benefit, or app through which it becomes easier step. If he has dropped from a particular step and he's back, he can continue from the same step, right? These are some of the factors in the new generation, or the new world, right, which influences to increase the digital sales. So important is your digital presence, and then definitely LeadSquared as a tool which can integrate with you with each steps and tell you that how many people have downloaded your app, how many people are registered in the portal, how many people have come to your social ads via emails, SEOs, blogs, sites, etc., which gives you a complete information of how your digital sales is been handled, or how important the workflow of the customer, or how is actually journey of the customer into your sales process. Right. Moving on to the second case, one of the questions which is always asked is, I have a loads of dead leads or dormant leads. How do I manage them? How do I take something out of my lead database which is not useful to me anymore? Right. So typical things, suggestions which we give is, one, typically if the customer is not picking up the call, or customer is not responding to your SMS and etc., then the other channels through which you can contact. Try every channel through which you can contact him. So if you have his email address and social presence, then social address, then you can retarget via Google, you can retarget via Facebook, and also you can send him emails, and whenever he opens an email, you would come to know the email has opened or clicked. You can initiate a call behind it. You can send an SMS. You can also have IVRs, as I told in my earlier examples, right? IVRs are also a very good method wherein you call, and customer goes through 1, 2, 3, 4 options, and whenever he's interested for a buying and he wants to know about your product, know more details, then it redirects to your call center guys and gives you an opportunity to talk to them and explain on the product. Right? Again, data enriching campaign, which is very important. So even in your existing customer database, or the database which is there, amount of data which you have will give you much more upper hand for the conversion part. So you need to plan, and you need to have a good thought process of collecting much more data from your customer, which is very important. Even in the case of you have lost a customer, it is very important to ask him. It's okay even if you lose it to your competitor. It's important for you to ask and record reason for the loss. Is it because of the high cost, because of the product offering, right? And also important to know when is his next policy renewal date, right? So that date is captured. Similarly, if the lead is lying in the system, you're just having email number and name, you don't have any other details, then again try to send some innovative campaigns and try to collect his age, his family status, and etc. It will always be useful to pitch in some products related to him in future. That's where we suggest run the data enriching campaign, so that your data is enriched, and then you can always use the data to help your customers. Nurturing campaigns is very important again, right? So continuous nurturing, specifically based on policy renewals, expiries, and etc. Nurture your customers, or even not policy expiry. If you have the date of birth, marriage anniversary, right? All those dates you can always have nurture, even though they are not your customers. You can send an email to them wishing for their special occasions. It always creates an impact on customers' mind, and whenever they have an opportunity to associate with you, I'm sure they will, if you have a continuous relationship, right? And then fourth option is call only when they come back to your website. So LeadSquared provides your website tracking script, which is placed, and it exactly knows when your customer comes back to your website. Since you're sending emails to them, and if they open an email and if they click on any of the links and they come back to your website, LeadSquared will come to know that customer is revisiting your website and inform your, you give a signal, inform your agents, right, so that they can take action. And last is distribution techniques. So another important thing about any sales process in insurance is key is you're distributing your leads. It takes loads of. I have seen multiple distribution techniques. The techniques are not same across customers. They keep changing the distribution techniques, right? And it actually helps them a lot in conversion. I have seen it. So one is load based. Load based is typically not to overload everybody or not to overload a single person. I would set a load as per day 50 or 60 for a particular agent, right? And then make sure that he completes he completes that particular task, or completes that set of leads. And once he completes, then he gets the next set. So a load is set throughout, so that load is equally distributed amongst all the call center agents. It is not uneven, right? Skill based. Skill based, again, based on the skills. Any important lead which is HNI, or any product that is value much more higher value, right? Or any lead who is aiming for a higher product or higher value, etc., needs to be routed back to the right skills, right? And also with respect to vernacular capabilities of your agents, if your customers are looking for information in Marathi or Kannada, Hindi, Malayalam, and etc., you would have your particular team skill sets accordingly, and then distribute the leads based on your skill sets, right? Right. Distribute only when available. So basically, you can maintain a queue in the system, and then whenever agent comes in and logs into the system, only during that time leads get distributed, which is again important. Imagine your agents are on a leave or he has not come to the office, and lead gets distributed. It will be there in the agent's bucket for a longer time, not attended, right? You are going to miss on important leads. That's one more distribution technique. Redistribute while assigned agent is not available. So you assign few leads to an agent, and that agent goes on a sudden leave, or agent has some important task and left the desk, right? Is into a continuous meetings or something like that, and the customer calls at that point of time. What happens? Usually it calls, and if you have a sticky agent process, the call will not land to any other agent. In that case, you can redistribute using LeadSquared, right? You can redistribute to an available agent so that customer gets his experience, customer talks to you, and then once the agent has closed the call, the lead comes back and sits to the previous one. And last one is performance-based distribution. Again, this is very subjective based on definition of the performance. The productivity of a call center agent or a productivity of a sales guy depends, or it differs from organization to organization. It based on the views of their management, right? So based on performance, also leads can be distributed. Higher you perform, you get higher quality leads and better leads, so that your conversions are really high. So that's the concept of performance based. Now, people experiment a lot on distribution techniques, and it also helps. I have seen it helps our customers to achieve higher conversion rates with respect to their individuals, their team members. So basically, the concept is the team. Not everybody is same. Few people are specialists in particular tasks, particular products, and particular type of leads. Right, they're able to convert. And if you identify that aspect, and LeadSquared automation can help you to design the automation in such a way that the leads are distributed appropriately across your team. So I think these are the three cases, these are three questions I wanted to discuss in this particular session. I think that's it, and we are open for questions.
Thank you so much, Suhas. I am kickstarting the question straight away. So there's another question from Love Khurana who says, is number masking and email masking available?
Yes, definitely available. So we have an extensive security module, right, wherein we can completely restrict the number, completely restrict the email, right, and any field to that matter. If you want to restrict the visibility, right, and also edit, read, write, access according to your business needs, we can do that.
Okay, and he has another question. He says, do we have an option for incentive calculation for the team?
Incentive calculations is something which is in our roadmap. Currently, what we do is we take the APIs I mean, via APIs, we take the data out and do a custom project for our customers to calculate the incentives. But however, performance and incentive management is something which is in our roadmap, and we're eagerly looking to launch that module.
All right. Sandeep's question, he says, if any new lead comes into the CRM, will there be any pop-up in the mobile app as a notification?
Yeah. So it is
So
definable.
that we can call back manually.
Correct. So it is definable. So we have done it several times. Sometimes it becomes an annoying part. Lead flow is very high. Imagine lead flow is high, and if I get 100 leads in a day, right? I mean, there are 100 notifications in my mobile. So instead, what we suggest is we give a smart views. We define smart views for the customer, where the smart views, I'll say these are new leads to be called. That's the topic for the smart views. And he clicks on that. You always see the leads there where it is not contacted and he's supposed to do the call. The moment he does the call, right, and there is a disposition which is put against that lead will move from that bucket and move to other bucket. Which means he would always see. So for example, if I click on that particular smart view, that 10 leads, if I finish calling all 10 leads, I will not see anything in that smart view. It becomes zero. It is moved to the other bucket. That's how we suggest, and it is much more efficient other than notification. Answer the question, yes, definitely I can notify, but imagine there are 300 new leads assigned. His mobile is completely gone with 300 notifications.
Okay. Moving on to Rajesh's question. I think Rajesh, you may have joined us for the previous sessions also. I think I remember your name. So welcome back. He says, can we track an agent or RM on real-time basis if there is there GPRS tracking facility if you want to track an agent or RM?
Yeah, so definitely yes. So the concept of GPS is not to track them wherever they go. The concept of the geo tracking is to track their activities. So basically, we have something called check-in and check-out as a function, and activities as a function. So when I start my work, I do a check-in. Right after doing check-in, I will find the location where I've checked in. For example, point A in Bangalore, in Hebbal, I have logged in, checked in, and then I move to somewhere in HSR and do my meeting. And there I put an activity saying that I've done an activity in this particular location. Right? The moment I put an activity, again system automatically captures the location. And then I go to Banshankari and then I do another activity. Then I come back to Hebbal and then I say checkout. So this is how my day has happened. And what system has done is system has taken the location exactly where he has done his activities and then check in and check out. Now using that, I can completely track what are the different paths. So an estimate of where he is, I mean, where the agent is currently can be driven, right, based on his last check-in status or last activity status.
Okay, and for those of you who are wondering what is Hebbal and Banshankari, I believe their places in Bangalore. Okay, so moving on to Love's question again, he says, do we have the options to customize the reports as per the company requirements, or these are standard templates we have to use?
So we have standard out of the box reports. I'm sure that not all the customer likes the standard reports, right? And there are some specific unique reports for the organization. So, I mean, one cannot customize on his own, but we definitely have a dedicated report team who does it for you. So we call it as custom reports, and then we define and we design the custom reports and deliver it to you.
Okay, now moving on to a question which probably a lot of people have in mind. It's from Harsh. He says, how is data security ensured?
Correct. Now, I mean, data security is a vast area, right? Now, to answer that, one, we are ISO certified, right? Which means data security is one of the top priority for us. Okay. Two, we run on all HTTPS, so it's all secured integrations and secured platform. Three, with respect to the data, we can provide you several options, right? if the organization is looking to secure its complete database, we can assure you that you can buy your own AWS instance where we can host the database. You can own that instance so that you have complete control over the data, right? Plus, with respect to the products, we have built in so many security features, like you have two-step logins wherein you get OTP via SMS and email before login. You have AD for your login, AD integrations for your login. Plus, we have specific module called permission templates where I can easily define which activity or which lead attributes I can see, I can read, I can write it or modify. So all those logics can be defined extensively. So we have qualified for most of the insurance companies' security questionnaires, right? So that's what I can tell at this point of time. But if you have a security questionnaire, you can always send it back to us. We can, and I assure you, we can comply to most of your security questions.
All right. Shivesh, here's your question. Do you have API integrations with insurance companies?
We don't have any ready-made API integrations as a connector which is there in the marketplace or something like that. But since our API is very open and generic, I can integrate easily with any of the third-party systems, or any third-party systems can easily integrate with us. So based on our implementations and relationship with the customers, right, and based on their needs, we do a custom integration project with every customer.
Okay. Rajesh has another question. He says, can the system provide user to do for the day?
Yes. So basically, there are something called a task as a module in the system. There are two types of tasks, right? One is the to-do task and one is your general task. So to-do tasks are those which are not related to date and time. So for example, I need to call few of the customers whose renewal is pending, or whose renewal is upcoming in 3 months. That is one. Second is I need to call a customer who told me to call on Monday. And so now here the time and date is there. It is a generic task, right? Where system will prompt you, system will give you a reminder. Right? However, you need to call all the customers whose renewal is pending in next 3 months. It's a to-do task. Here the task will come and sit in your calendar, but it will not suggest any date and time. Basically, you can pick the task and complete the task on your own.
Okay, I think this question is pertaining to what you were explaining earlier. Suhas, he says, is the module available on LAN?
Module available in
I
LAN.
think this came up when you were talking. Yeah,
Okay.
LAN,
So
LAN.
basically, if you're asking for that, whether it is in-house, no, we don't have any kind of in-house. It's a SaaS platform. LeadSquared is a completely SaaS cloud-based platform. You need to have internet to work on it. The other, if the question is about does the offline data supported in mobile module, is in mobile app, the offline data is supported, because we understand mobile cannot have internet all the time when you travel, right? If you are in a place where internet is not there, then you can always do some modifications on the lead and add some lead into the system. Later, when you're back, when the data is back in your mobile, it syncs with the system.
All right, and I think this is probably it's an interesting question to ask, and it could probably be our last question for the day. How would you rank LeadSquared as an insurance specific CRM?
uh, I'm sure you can rank it almost like number one, because we have almost more than 8 insurance customers in our kitty, right? I don't know how many there are in India. Many insurance companies are there, but uh, definitely we have like 7, 8 insurance companies who are already engaged with us. So it's a good number. So if I go by that stats, definitely we are number one.
Okay. Thank you so much, Suhas. I don't see any more new questions coming in. That was the end to our BFS series. We had a series of webinars, as I said earlier, on banking, lending, insurance. If you missed any of the sessions, do reach out to me and I shall share the recording. Thanks so much, Suhas. Any final tips you want to share with the insurance sector, with the BFSI sector, anything at all?
Uh, so basically, the whole agenda of the insurance sales depends upon the experience that you can give it to your end customer. So I believe a lot of online presence and the online journeys defines the major factor of your conversions, and plus the service which is provided to your customer after sales also defines a larger thing. Right? So our system would enable you to any thought or any process which you have in your mind. Our system will enable you to implement that process in the way you want, and as the time changes, as the demand changes, as the need changes, definitely you need to change the processes. And LeadSquared, one of the strongest points of LeadSquared is it is very agile in this particular field. And whenever you want to change the process, it's a slight change in automation. You can design a new automation, and imagine a new process can be immediately set up, implemented, and executed within a day's time, or within 2 days or 3 days of time. That's the strength which a product gives you, and that helps you. Finally, stay safe, stay at your place, and help needy around you. Rest, God will take care. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Suhas, for giving us your time. And this brings an end to our BFSI series. Those of you who are interested in how marketing brands are coping with the COVID crisis, do join our webinar tomorrow from 3 to 4. It's on lead generation during these times. Thanks so much for joining in again. Stay safe. Take care. Bye bye.